Hello and welcome to Cinderful Gaming. I hope you're all doing well, I hope you're all staying safe, and most of all, I hope you're all fighting that war against the Grey. So today, when we got the release of Cursed City, we got all the war scrolls for the actual Warhammer Age of Sigmar rules for these models, which is awesome. I got my Cursed City box pre-ordered, I hope you all did too, and if you didn't, don't despair, because there is going to be a second wave. This box set will be around for a while. It'll be a mainline thing until the game itself runs its full course. So you can expect a restock in the next couple of months, so don't despair. You might miss out initially, but you will be able to get this box eventually. So, with that said, we got all the points as well leaked for us as well. And they're all pretty decent. We'll go through in this video and look at all the rules of all the different models. Now, we'll talk a little bit about the organisation of this stuff first as well. So, to start with, the Skeleton Warriors and Zombies are their own units. They have their own unique war scrolls and stuff like skeletons and zombies, etc. We'll have a look at them. But then all the rest of the death side, the Varishkai, Gorslav, Radikar, Torgulus, and all of that are all a unique model bundle that must be purchased together for 680 points. So we're going to take a look through that and see what is exactly in that. However, all the Cities of Sigmar characters can be taken in different order factions as well. So they all are Cities of Sigmar, including the Ogre is also Cities of Sigmar. However, the Caradron model is a Caradron Overlords, and the Wanderer, the, Kurnothi, is a Sylvaneth model with her own unique glade that we haven't seen yet. And so we'll start having a look, and we'll look through all those characters. We'll do them last, because Cities of Sigmar is very much my thing, along with Chaos Wanderers, because that can fit inside Cities of Sigmar, so they're all usable there. So let's get cracking into it, and let's check out these war scrolls. So let's get started with the death models. And first of all, we've got Radikar the Wolf. So he's got 7 wounds, 5-inch move, 4+ save, and bravery 10, as you would expect from a death model. He has the keywords Death, Vampire, Soulblight, Hero, Wizard, Vampire Lord, and Radikar the Wolf. Now, the one you'll see missing is he's not an ogre, so that is put to bed, I guess, with this. Now, he's got a bunch of different abilities. He's got the Hunger, where at the end of every combat phase, if any models were slain, he heals a wound. Very normal vampire sort of stuff there. He's then got Supernatural Strength, where if the unmodified wound roll for an attack made with a melee weapon by this model is a 6, it inflicts a mortal wound in addition to any other damage. That's cool. He's got Gravesand Thylacery. I probably pronounced that word really terribly. You roll a dice each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound to this model. On a 4+, it's negated. On a 1, the wound or mortal wound is not negated, and this ability cannot be used for the rest of the battle. I don't really like that rule. I hate rules where things disappear. It's just not cool. But still, it's a 4-up. It should keep him in the fight a little bit longer. And it's worth mentioning, though, I guess it'll be a 4-up and then it will turn to a 6-up. So it's not as bad as some of the other ones where they have a negative effect, I guess. He's then got Deathly Invocation, which allows him to heal models around him. He gets to heal up to D3 models to each unit you picked, and you can pick up to 3 with him. And he's got the command abilities, Call to the Hunt. You can use his command ability at the start of the combat phase. If you do so, you pick one friendly model with his command ability that made a charge move in the same turn, and you add one to its attack characteristics of melee weapons used by friendly units wholly within 18 inches of the model until the end of that phase. So you pick a model, and then around that model, it creates a buff aura. He's got his cool little Barrow Blade, 1 inch, 4 attacks, 3 threes, Ren 1 damage, D3. I mean, he's nothing to write home about, but that command ability is pretty sweet, I will say, and I think that's a great thing to have. Magic-wise, he's a wizard, but he doesn't get his own unique spell, which is a bit of a disappointment. He's only got Arcane Bolt and Mystic Shield, but let's hope with Soulblight Gravelords soon to come out that he's going to get access to a couple of spell laws in there. Next up, we've got Torgulus the Chamberlain. So this is the Chamberlain that turned his back on the city. He's got move 5, 6 wounds, 6+ save, and bravery 10, as you would expect from a death model. This guy is effectively our little necromancer of the group, really. So he's got his claws and fangs, 4 attacks, 5 forwards. I mean, he does nothing in combat. But he's got Trusted Lieutenant, and so he's effectively got the Cities of Sigmar rule, where if he's near Radikar the Wolf, he gets you some extra command points on a 4+, which is cool. He's got the Gravesand as well, so he's got that 4+ after death save, which will turn into a 6+ if he rolls a 1, because you get the normal death save. And then he's got his magic. He's a 1 cast, 1 unbind, and he's got his own spell, Necrotizing Bolt. So Necrotizing Bolt has a casting value of 6. You can pick one enemy unit within 18 inches of the caster that is visible to them, and the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. In addition, subtract 1 from the hit rolls for attacks made by that unit until the start of your next hero phase. So this is effectively a word of pain. It's a good spell. I mean, I use this from Cities of Sigmar all the time. I love the Sorceress for this spell, and him having that spell is pretty decent. It'll make a good second Necromancer in your army if you've already got something doing Van Hell's Dance Macabre. This is not a bad guy to chuck in. I mean, but he is going to come in that 680 point bundle. So let's check out the rest of that bundle. So then we've got a Watch Captain Howgrim. So he is 3 attacks at a 2-inch range, 4s, 3s, round 1 damage D3. He's got a very basic sort of standard hero save. Move 4, 4+ save, 5 wounds, bravery 10 as expected. He does 6s on his hit rolls, do a mortal wound in addition to any other damage, and he's got a command ability, Discipline Advance. If you do so, you can pick up to 3 friendly skeleton units holding within 18 inches of this model, and until the end of that phase, if you declare any of those units will run, do not make a run roll, instead add 4 inch. So he's effectively got the battalion rule from I forget the name of the battalion, Death March, that's the one. He's got the Death March battalion rule sort of baked in as command ability. That's cool. Death March is nice. We then got Gorslav the Gravekeeper, and so he's got a bunch of abilities. We've sort of seen some of them before. You roll a dice if you allocate a wound or a mortal wound to him if he's near zombies, and the zombies take it instead on a 4+. Also, he can pick one friendly summonable zombie unit that has been destroyed and replace it on the table, which is pretty cool. So with these 2 characters, they're effectively one's buffing our skeletons and one's buffing our zombies. This would be pretty cool for the standard core of an army. We then got the Corsage Night Guard. They're 4 wounds each, 5-inch move, 5+ save, 10 bravery. They got 2 attacks, 3s, round 1 damage 2, 2-inch range. On a 5+, they negate mortal wounds, and the servants into the end add 1 to the attack characteristic of them if they win 12-inch Radakar. I mean, there's not many of these, but it's cool. I think maybe the only thing they probably could have had is maybe some sort of bodyguard rule would have been nice. We then got the Vrekos Bloodborne, which are like the weird sort of feral vampires. When this unit makes a move, it can pass across terrain features in the same manner it has fly. Nice. As they sort of like clamber over quickly. I mean, it really gives you those sort of death vibes where they sort of run over everything. It's pretty cool. You can add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made with this model if the target unit has 1 or more wounds allocated to it. Cool, like Blood Scent. All for that. It's nice and thematic. And they've got a 5+ shrug as well due to being like super fast. You've got 3 wounds apiece, which isn't bad. 6+ save though, 8-inch move and 10 bravery. They're decent. They're not bad. Certainly not bad. We then got the Varric Scar, which is the last model that comes in our little bundle of 680 points. And he's got Terrifying Howl. He can subtract bravery around him. You can also attempt to charge this model to win 18 inch of the enemy, and you get to roll 3d6. And he's got a 5+ shrug as well. He's got 8 wounds, 8-inch move, 5+ save, bravery 10, 4 attacks, 3 round 1 damage 2, and 1 attack at 3/2 -2 d3. I mean, he's all right, especially on like such a small base that he's on. He's not bad. In the end, like, we're talking about 680 points for all these characters. Is it worth it? I mean, I think you could maybe build something around it. Like, it depends on how cheap zombies and stuff really get. At current times, we're looking at the points in this. The skeletons are 80 and then 280 for a massive regiment, and zombies are 60 and 320. So you're wanting to at least get a couple of blocks of each because you've got the Watch Captain and Gorslav, so you're wanting to get a bunch of dead with them. I think this really fills out all your hero slots. You're just taking a horde of zombies and skeletons for the rest of your army, and maybe a couple of like necromancers or other vampires. I'll be interested to see if you can make this work. Zombies though down, so we've got the zombie profile here. They've got no save at all, 1 attack, 5 and 5, no rend, damage 1. They get Standard Bearer, where they subtract 1 from the bravery. They get Noisemakers, where they can always move up to 6 inch when they charge, which is cool. That's a really good ability. You can add 1 to hit and wound rolls for a unit of zombies that has 20 more, or 2 if it has 40 more. So this really makes your zombies start to look somewhat decent. They're 3s and 3s if they've got 40 or more models. And you can also add 1 to hit rolls if there's some corpse carts near them. So maybe we want to drag some corpse carts into the army as well. We'll definitely be coming back to have a look at this, I guess, once we get the Soulblight Gravelords book in earnest. They've also got the Newly Dead, so at the end of the combat phase, you roll a dice for each model slain by this unit. For each 6, you get to add a zombie to it. Cool. I really do like that rule a lot. It's nice and thematic. It really makes zombies feel like they should. And the last thing we got is skeletons, which you get your choice between blades and spears. Once again, done a whole video talking about how the options for those weigh up. They've got the same sort of command group that does the same things here. And then they've got Serve and Death. You add 1 to hit rolls if they're near any death heroes. That you add 1 to attacks characteristic of the unit's weapons if they have 20 more, or add 2 if it's got 30. And you add 1 to save rolls if they've got if they're trying to roll saves against Rend Dash. So, okay. Zombies and skeletons don't look to have changed much, so that's pretty cool. I think you could make an army that maybe could work. I'd really like to see and try it, honestly. Once you've got all this stuff from Cursed City, it'd be interesting to see if you could build an army and see how much you need to get. I'm really interested to look after Soulblight Gravelords comes out to see whether or not it's profitable and worth making a full army of Soulblight Gravelords based on this box. It really could be. And so let's take a look at the Cities of Sigmar models. So the first thing I noticed about all of these is they've got the Orphan Khan city keyword. Does this mean maybe we might get an Orphan Khan and a Death City of Sigmar rule set? I mean, that would be amazing. So really looking forward to seeing if that happens. But let's get taking a look at these different characters. So to start with, we've got Captain Imelda Brazkov. So she's the really cool, I guess, warrior lady. She's got that awesome little eagle head across her shoulder. Absolutely awesome. She's got 5 wounds, 5-inch move, 3+ save, bravery 8. Very standard, I guess, free guild-ish hero. She is just Order Human Cities of Sigmar Orphan Khan hero captain. She doesn't have free guild or anything like that. So she's got her weapon Dawnlight, 1-inch reach, 3's attacks, 3/3, Ren 2 damage D3. That's decent. And then if a 6 is rolled on the hit rolls, it inflicts a mortal wound in addition to any other damage. Whilst this model is within 3-inch of enemy units, do not take battleship tests for friendly units holding within 9-inch of this model. I mean, that's a little bit iffy. She's got a 3+ save though, so she is somewhat survivable. And you could sort of do this so that she's not actually in the fight. You could put her in like the second rank of some units doing the fighting. It'd be pretty cool to sort of have on your home objective, have her holding the spot there. I think it'd be pretty decent. And she's obviously, as mentioned, she's got the Orphan Khan keyword, which means she can't take on any other keywords. So there's that. But I think for that little ability, you can set up cool defensive walls with her. Or even like Hello Heart, like teleporting around. It's cool to have her there, and she can really make one of your units holding the line against your enemies when you teleport. Like your screen really have that battle shock immunity. It'd be pretty cool, I think. We think I've got Qualathus the Exile. I hope I got her name right. 5 wounds, 6-inch move, 5+ save, bravery 7. She's got Winter's Call, which is her bow, 3 attacks at 24-inch, 3/3, Ren 1, damage 1. Not too bad, but it really comes into it when she starts doing some mortal wounds on the hit roll, and it inflicts 1 mortal wound on the target in addition to any other damage. And then the cover save modifier adds 2 to this model instead of 1, which is cool. She's got an Elven Blade, 3 attacks, 4s, no Ren, damage 1. She's pretty average, but for me, the cool thing about this is not only could I include her in like my Living City army, but also gives me a use for my Waywatcher Lord model. Could easily represent this model. She's then part of the Angala Wield, which is the glade that she's from, which is an additional one. I mean, we don't have this thing in Sylvaneth, so could this be something we see in Sylvaneth, maybe in Broken Realms or something like that? I think would be rather cool. Moving on, we got Jelson Derrick. Now, this is the awesome ex-Witch Hunter of the Order of Razir. 5 wounds, move 5, 5+ save, bravery 7. He's got Judgment, where he has 1 attack with it, 3 to hit. And if an attack made with Judgment scores a hit, the attack sequence ends and you must roll a dice. If the roll is at least double the target's unit's wound characteristic, 1 model from that unit is slain. After all models from that attacks have been resolved. If the roll is less than double the target unit's wound characteristic, the unit suffers 1 mortal wound after all the model's attacks have been resolved. Cool. So this could potentially, slay 3 wound models and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. He's got firewood stakes at the end of the combat phase. You can pick 1 enemy unit within 1 inch of this model and roll a dice. Add 1 to the wound roll. The roll, if it's a death model, on a 3+, they suffer a mortal wound. And once again, he's got Orphan Khan. He's also got his Ardent Blade, which is his nice big sword, 3 attacks, 4s, 3s, Ren 1, damage D3. I mean, what's cool about this model is it finally puts some purpose back into that Witch Hunter model I painted ages ago. So I could see Jelson Derrick. What's worth mentioning is, of course, all these characters are unique, meaning they won't get anything addition. And he's got Orphan Khan again. We then got Brutog Corpse Eater. Now this is the Ogre, and you'll notice he has the Cities of Sigmar keyword. So we're going to be able to play with an Ogre in Cities of Sigmar. He's got Orphan Khan there, 7 wounds, 6-inch move, 4+ save, bravery 7. He's got Marrow Masher, which has 3 attacks, 3s to hit, 3s to wound, Ren 1, damage 2. He's got the Gut Gouger. Amazing to see the Gut Gouger come back. 1 attack, 3/3, Ren 2, damage D3, and a Gulping Bite, standard Ogre stuff there. He's got Devour the Enemy as a rule, which at the end of the combat phase, if any enemy units were slain by wounds inflicted by this model's attacks in that phase, You can heal D3 wounds allocated to him. If it was a death model slain by him, you can heal D6 as he likes eating dead people. Once again, Ulfenkarn. We've then got Dagnai Heldenstock. This is our Caradron Overlord. He's from Barak Mornar, which is cool. So unlike the rest of the models in this, he's actually got existing Skyport rules that he will get to use. So that's really cool. He's got 6 wounds, 4 up save, 4+ move, and a bravery of 8. He's got his harpoon gun, 1 attack, 4/3, Ren 2, damage D3. Nice little bit of range power there. And his belaying axe, 3 attacks, 4s, 3s, Ren 1, damage 1. I mean, nothing special in combat. He's got gold-plated reputation though, and he starts with 2 shares of Aether Gold instead of 1. Pretty cool. And then reel him in. If the attack made with this model's harpoon gun scores a hit on a monster, if that monster is not slain, after the attack's been resolved, roll a dice. On a 4+, the monster is skewered until the start of your next shooting phase. Whilst this monster is skewered, each time it makes a move, it must finish the move at least as close to this model as it was at the start of the movement phase. Pretty cool. It can sort of drag your opponent's monsters around the place. I like it. He's nothing too fancy, but he's cool. He's got some cool rules, definitely. We then got Clair, Zeit and Gale. So she's got 5 wounds, 5-inch move, 6+ save, bravery 7. So she's got heaven, shot, bolt, stilettos, which are 1 attack, 4 to hit, 3 to wound, Ren 2, damage 1, and the thrice blessed mace, 1 attack, 4/3, Ren 1, damage D3. Now, she's got Celestial Prayers. In your hero phase, she can chant one of the following prayers. If she does so, pick one of the following prayers. On a 1 to 3, it's not answered. On a 4+, it is. No negative effects. Now, she's got Invigorating Touch. She can pick one friendly model within 3-inch and heal D6 wounds. And then she's got Cometary Blast. Pick a point on the battlefield within 18 inches of this model and roll the dice for each enemy unit within 3-inch. On a 4 or 5, that unit suffers a mortal wound. On a 6, they suffer D3. She's not bad. Like, there's enough to use her for. It's cool to have another priest, and hopefully we see more priests coming to Cities of Sigmar. Lastly, we've got Glario Vanolton III. This is our completely too swagger noble from the city of Ulfenkarn. He's got 5 wounds, 5-inch move, 4+ save, bravery 6. Noblesse, which is a range 9-inch, his little pistol, 1 attack, 3/3, Ren 1, damage 1. Cool. He's got the Geist Sever, 3 attacks, 3/3, Ren 1, damage D3. Decent. If an attack with Noblesse scores a hit on a target within 3-inch of the attacking model, that attack inflicts a mortal wound on the target and the sequence ends. So he does a mortal wound if he's nice and close up. He's got the Unrivaled Duelist. He subtracts 1 from hit rolls made by melee weapons that target this model. In addition, if the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with a melee weapon that targets this model is a 1, they suffer a mortal wound. So maybe getting some things to make your opponent reroll would be rather cool on this. And once again, he's got Ulfenkarn. I mean, he's nothing special once again, but he's alright. And then we've got Octor and Glimscry. So 5 wounds, 5 up save, 5-inch move, 6 up save, and 6 bravery. He's got a basic wizard weapon. Each time you allocate a wound or a mortal wound to him, he's got a 6+ save. He's got the Ulfenkarn keyword, and his magic, he's got Withering Hex. So, if successfully cast, you pick one enemy unit within 18 inches of the caster that is visible to them, the unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. In addition, for the rest of the battle, the unit is affected by Octrin's Hex. You subtract 1 inch from the move characteristic of units affected by Octrin's Hex. So, that's pretty decent. I mean, there's things you could play that into, definitely taking like Soul Snare Shackles or other things you can do with the army, like movement stuff. Even an inch is always good. Inches can win games. For me, he's really cool. So, there are all the different Cities of Sigmar models. I don't think any of them stand out, but the thing for me that's really cool is that there's Ulfenkarn. This is definitely something we can put more work into Games Workshop, and I really hope we see an Ulfenkarn allegiance for Cities of Sigmar. That'd be awesome. I mean, we've got all these models now. It's crying out for an actual set of rules. Maybe in a White Dwarf, maybe it's coming in a proper rulebook. I'd be really excited to see what we get. All in all, most of these characters range from about 100 to 120 points. None of them are overly expensive. If you really like the model, you could quite easily fit any of these in. And some of them even have some pretty cool little rules. I mean, the best thing we're hoping for is a Ulfenkarn allegiance. That's what we're hoping for here. That's what these are saying to me. I'm also really interested to see more story on that Kurnothi model. So, what are your thoughts on all the models and all the rules for Warhammer Age of Sigmar and Cursed City? Did you pick up Cursed City and are you interested in playing Warhammer Quest? And the Death Army, I'm really interested. Are people wanting to make an army around those models? Do you think it could work? What do you think you need to make that army work? I'd be really interested to hear people's thoughts and ideas on it. Well, thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. If you'd like to come chat more with me and other members of our little community here at Sinful Gaming, you can do so by coming and joining our Discord server, which you'll find a link to in the description of the video. While you're on YouTube as well, go check out my featured channel section, which contains a bunch of other fantastic Age of Sigmar content creators doing everything from battle reports, tactical videos, lore videos, painting tutorials, and more besides that. Lastly though, we'd like to give a shout out to everyone who helps support the channel via Patreon and YouTube members. Thank you to James, AJC, JC, Christian Weir, Soren, Kenny Lowell, Outer and Shot First, Chaospawn, James Crowder, and Andrew Bowen. Thank you all so much for your support. And if you'd like to help support the channel like these fine people do, you can do so by clicking once again on the links down in the description of the video to either YouTube members or Patreon. Thank you all for supporting the channel though, watching the content. Have a nice day, stay safe, stay well, and most of all, keep fighting that war against the Grey. Ciao for now.